Julian Johnson, back with another episode of Alumni Spotlight. Today, I will be interviewing Shannon Torres, who is a graduate of the class of 1992. Thank you for coming today, Shannon.
Thank you for having me.
Ready for your first question?
Not really, but yes, go ahead.
So just this past Tuesday, you were elected as the new captain of the Keyport Police Department. What inspired you to choose this career path?
I was inspired. Actually, I didn't know that I was going to be a police officer growing up. I never would say that's something that I wanted to be, or some people know when they're young. It was the course of my life that led me to this career. I say it was a calling that I did not know of when I was in high school. Chain of events in my life after Keyport High School, I joined the military, and I also met some officers. I ended up working for one of the Keyport police officers, and I started seeing what they did, and I gravitated toward the field, and I really saw that it was in me to do this field.
What was your original plan when you were younger? Did you have a certain dream?
I dreamed of being a veterinarian. I believe in high school as a senior, I wanted to not study zoology. I think I put that down in my thing, and I had a passion for animals because I really wasn't sure. It's very hard, I think, my opinion, as a 17 or 18-year-old person to really know what you have to offer and what skills are going to come through, as you grow up a little bit.
Definitely. And which personal attributes that you have gained at Keyport High School would you say have helped you most in the law enforcement field?
My ability to adapt to different situations. Going through high school, even you start off as a freshman, right? And you're kind of at the bottom of the totem pole, and you're new and you're little. Although I didn't grow up very tall, but I was always little. I stayed little. But you're scared, you're nervous. You start off like that, and then each year, as you grow, you have not only different work assignments that are assigned to you that you have to learn, but you start to grow, and then all of a sudden you find yourself as a senior looking at the freshmen and how you're going to handle that, and you learn to adapt, right, every year, and you have new classes, new students. Teaches you a lot of versatility in life. I find the high school experience that taught me a lot, because in high school you change classes, you make different friend groups. You start off as a freshman, begging for help, and then as a senior you become the role model. So, all those experiences really, really helped me to become a good police officer, because I don't know what I'm going to deal with each day, right? So I have to be able to adjust and adapt, because there's no set pattern every day for us. When I come to work, I couldn't tell you at all, other than I know that I'm going to have to know where the people are, the crossing guards are, the kids are in school. I can't tell you what's going to happen in my day. Sometimes that's how it happened in high school, right? You don't know what you're going to walk into. So I think that's part of the way that high school has really prepared me.
Great. And would you mind telling us about your unique educational path that you took after high school?
So typically right from high school you go off. You've already decided now, and I'm going through this with my daughter now. She already knows what college she's going for, what she's going to do. I didn't know that. I was very unsure. After I graduated, I decided to pursue a career with the military a little bit. I went and I did my basic training. I did my advanced individual training, which is AIT. At that point, I still didn't really know what I was going to do, so I used the military to pay for college for me. I went through that program, and they paid for any state school, which I started going to Brookdale. In the meantime, was when I was still growing up and trying to see what skill set I could offer, what was the strongest in me, and what career path I was going to go to. after completing my basic training in the military, and I realized like I flourished there. I didn't know it. My first day of basic training, I thought I wanted to come home. I didn't know what I did, you know, but I realized like that was what I needed, and so it was a calling. I loved basic training. Some people hated it. I loved it. I loved the advanced individual training. I realized like that set of discipline is what was best for me, and that's where I flourished. So I started to see that, and I did Brookdale College for a little bit, and I started taking police tests. And all of a sudden, I found myself doing very well and having this passion for that. And I knew, here's where it clicked. That's my career. That's what I need to be doing. So it took me a few steps to actually see what I was called to do.
Oh, great. And lastly, do you have any advice for current students interested in a similar career path?
Yes, I have a lot of advice. A lot of kids often approach me and say, how can I become a police officer? And I have to tell them, my biggest piece of advice to kids that want to do this is ask yourself, you know, is this what you really want to do in life? Because it's a career where you come, there's no set pattern of what you do every day. So you really have to have a passion and basic and passion to help people. You really do have to have that desire. So if you want to pursue this field, I do say, military is a good, it has, you handle weapons and you learn some discipline, self-discipline, you go through all that. Military is a good way. Always education. I'll always promote education, because nowadays it used to be where you didn't have to have a college degree to get into law enforcement. Now, you do. You really do. The more education or background you get in this field is better. That's how we look. We look at your resumes now. We look at your history. So if you have military, we love that. If you have college degree, we love that too. If you have both, that's fantastic.
Oh, great. And is Keyport the only town that you've been in law enforcement for?
No, I started out for the Monmouth County Sheriff's Department, and then I transferred over to Keyport.
Oh, okay. Well, thank you for coming today, Shannon.
Okay, thank you for having me.
And thank you for joining us for another episode of Alumni Spotlight. I hope to see you next time.